You want to use BirdLasser to Atlas. Open up my iPhone. There are no trip cards there. So first I'm going to use it for atlasing. So I'm going to quickly create a trip card. Call it, let's go, my first Atlas card. Just click on return on the keyboard to remove it, and you can see everything that's on the screen. You'll note there's an atlasing. I've switched it on to say this is a card. I'm going to do atlasing on. Click done to save it. What's very important is to set up the app so it knows you're in Atlas. By doing that, I'm quickly going to go to settings, and I'm going to check if atlasing is all set up correctly. There's atlasing on by default. I've switched that on. Every time I create a trip card, atlasing will be on by default. So the app will always know you are in Atlas mode. GP is always on. Doesn't need to be switched on. This is more if you want notifications from your phone when you cross a printed border and the phone is in standby mode. Just note that on iOS devices there's no audible sound. The phone will just vibrate once it crosses the printed border. Note that I've typed in my observer number and my name I'd like to be known as in the app. Lastly, show location name. This you can toggle on if you want to give pintads a name instead of having the pintad ID. So once you move into a pintad that you've named before, it'll say something like home or Kruger Park or whatever it may be. Just a note there on the improved GPS. If you find that your GPS coordinates are out and the GPS range at the bottom left hand corner of the screen is not zoning in on where you are, you may flick that on. Just be wary of the additional battery usage when you do. It uses a higher quality GPS receiver, hence getting better GPS signal. This is typically when it's overcast or you're indoors or maybe in a kloof. I rather switch it off. Never had the necessity to switch it on. Go back to trip cards. Let's start logging. First thing you'll note if you open it, right at the bottom it says 0 minutes. You've been in this pintad for 0 minutes, and it has the pintad number there. It also shows my GPS range is 10 meters, which is quite accurate. In the top right hand corner, right next to the three little dots, is a little pin on a map icon. Click this to see what the map looks like with all the pintad grids. Note your pintads, the red dot being where you are right now. I can now log my first sighting. I hear a miner calling. I'm going to quickly log a miner. I'm going to swipe from right to left over the name to log it as heard. Tap on heard, there it's logged. Common miner, first species on my list, heard today. If I go back to the top right hand corner there next to the three dots, that lines, the four horizontal lines, I'm going to tap on that and I can see what it looks like in the list. Also hearing a turtle dove calling. We can log the turtle dove. Just log it as heard. There you go. 2 species already logged. And note at the bottom of the screen, we're on 1 minute now. Very important to note, that timer there indicates the time you've spent in the pintad, not necessarily atlasing. If I was to keep my app open now, I had a cup of coffee for 20 or 30 minutes, not logging anything, there's no ways the app would know I wasn't atlasing. So in that case, if you know you're going to take a break while you're in the pintad, rather park your car. Doing that, go to the top right hand corner, there are 3 little dots, tap on it, you'll notice third from the top there's park trip card, and you park it. Note that the log button is now removed. Can't log now, it knows you are idling and not atlasing. The timer will now stay fixed on 1 minute until you unpark it. I'm going back to my list of trip cards, so it says under parked, my first Atlas card. Let's quickly unpark it again. I'm going to swipe from right to left, go more, and I tap on unpark trip card. Open the trip card to log again. You'll notice it's still 1 minute, it didn't add another minute, and I log the red-eyed dove I'm looking at right now. Just tap on red-eyed dove, there I go, logged it, seen today. To submit this card, this being an ad hoc, naturally, top right hand corner, the 3 little dots, it's a menu icon, let's click on that. Let's go share, tap on the share. There are your options. I would like to share with a bird map. There's the list of field sheets I've done for this trip card. Obviously, I've only done one field sheet. It says it's ready to submit. Let's tap on that one and let's open it up. There you go, all the details of this field sheet. Please note that the protocol is set to ad hoc. It will always default to ad hoc unless you flip it to full. So if I have Atlas for 2 hours or more on this pentad, I tap on full and it changes to full. Now it'll be a full protocol. Did I cover all habitats? Let's say I did. Did I Atlas a note? Let's say I did. Note that my observer details are already in there and I've given this location the name Randburg. At the bottom it shows my species per hour. But let's say I saw that red-eyed dove in the second hour and it somehow got accidentally logged in the first hour. By tapping and holding on those 3 little horizontal bars on hour 2, I can move the hour and I can hence put red-eyed dove into the second hour. I'm happy with this card. Everything is correctly defined. If I now click submit, this card will be submitted to birdmap/subop2.